Hello listeners and viewers, welcome to Kaduna State Ministry of Education Radio and TV e-learning program designed for our SS3 and other students staying at home due to the coronavirus pandemic. The present administration under the able leadership of His Excellency, Malam Nasir Ahmed El-Rufai, is positioned as always to ensure that under his leadership, our students are not left behind in all areas of human endeavors, especially education. Kaduna State is the center of learning. Therefore, we want to ensure that our students excel in their forthcoming examinations and beyond. Students and other learners at home are given this opportunity in order to continue learning, as education is a continuous process. Different subjects will be taught in this program to assist students to perform excellently in the forthcoming Senior School Certificate examination being conducted by NECO and WAEC as soon as schools reopen. Teachers making presentations will always provide their names and phone numbers during each presentation, and they can be contacted for questions, further explanations, and/or clarifications. The following numbers and contacts can also be reached for expression of any concern or observation: 090-865-00545 or 080-383-62072. Our website is www.education.kdsg.gov.ng. Our email education@kdsg.gov.ng or education.kdsg@gmail.com. Our YouTube channel, Ministry of Education, Kaduna State. Our Twitter handle @Kaduna_MOE. Or our Facebook page, Ministry of Education, Kaduna State. Stay safe, stay at home, and learn well. Thank you, happy listening, and happy viewing.
Hello, viewers and listeners. You are welcome into another segment of our geography class. My name is Mr. Marcus Adamu. Our topic for discussion today is tourism in Nigeria. Tourism in Nigeria. In the course of this lesson, we are going to look at the meaning of tourism. We will identify factors that are favorable for tourism. We'll also identify and locate some tourist centers on a map of Nigeria. We'll look at justification of tourism in Nigeria. We'll also discuss the importance of tourism to the economic development of Nigeria. We'll also identify some problems of tourism and suggest possible solutions. What is tourism? Tourism simply means it's a practice which involves the visiting of people to places of interest where they can relax, derive pleasure, and entertainment. The places where such people visit, we call them tourist or resource centers, while the persons who visit such places are also called tourists. The most important subjects of tourism is attraction. Attractions are the most important components in the tourism industries. Attraction is the main motivation for a tourist trips and the core of the tourism products. Without attraction, there will be no need for other tourism services. Let's now briefly look at the factors that are favorable for tourism in Nigeria. 1, favorable climate. For tourism to thrive, the climate of the environment must be favorable so that the tourists can relax and enjoy themselves. No one would like to visit a place where the climatic conditions are harsh or unfavorable. Number 2, presence of fine beaches. Presence of fine beaches in Nigeria, such as Ziba Beach in Lekki and Badagry, areas of Lagos, attract tourists, both within Nigeria and outside the country. Number 3, wildlife. In Nigeria, there are presence of wild parks, such as the Yankari Game Reserve in Bauchi State and Borgu Game Reserve in Niger State, Obudu Cattle Range in Cross River State, etc. This attracts many tourists. Number 4, effective publicity. For tourism to thrive in Nigeria, there must be enough publicity. Through publicity, we create awareness for the tourists on possible areas of attractions. 5, presence of beautiful sceneries. For tourism to grow, there must be the presence of beautiful sceneries. The natural features of an area, such as mountains, valleys, rivers, and forests that are attractive to look at, which could be natural or man-made, where people can relax and entertain themselves, motivates people to visit such places. Number 6, good transport network or communication. There must be good transport network which will promote the movement of tourists without any obstructions. Vehicles and good roads are key to tourism because the tourists cannot find themselves to these resource centers without following any of these, that is good routes and the use of vehicles. Number 7, relative political stability. For tourism to thrive in Nigeria, there must be stable political activities. These will enhance or motivate the tourists to visit such resource centers. No tourist will want to risk his life or her life to visit any place or any country where his safety is not guaranteed. 8, hospitality of the people. People around the resource centers must be humbled, kind, friendly, and accommodative. And these go a long way in allowing the tourists to be at home in the resource centers. Number 9 factor, presence of historic sites. Historical sites are places of interest where tourists always want to visit. Example, the National Museum in Lagos. As you go there, you see so many things that will surprise you. Number 10, presence of hotels of international standard. Presence of hotels of international standard must be available for the tourists to stay. Example of such important hotels includes the 5-star hotels like the Sheraton Hotel in Abuja, Nikonogan Hotel in Abuja, and also in Lagos. These hotels provide accommodation to the tourists that comes to or that pay such types of visits. Number 11 factor, availability of capital. Availability of capital or funds is key to building infrastructures like roads, provision of pipe-borne waters, electricity, etc. The presence of these amenities do boost the tourism sector. Number 12, good security. The security of the tourists must be guaranteed. Tourists will not visit places where there is kidnapping, terrorism, or robbery, because everybody is very much conscious of his safety first before embarking in the visit of such places of interest. Now let's look at some major tourist centers in Nigeria. We have so many. There is no state in this country that do not have one tourist centers or the other. But we are going to look at very few. Out of these very few, we'll look at the following. Number 1, Yankari National Park in Bauchi. It is located in the southeastern part of Bauchi State. Number 2, Obudu Cattle Ranch in Cross River State. Lake Chad Basin is serving not only Borno State of Nigeria, but also serving 3 neighboring countries such as Niger Republic, Cameroon, and also Chad. The Nok village in Kaduna State. Nok is in Jaba local government area of Kaduna State. 5, Olumorok Tourist Center in Abeokuta, also in Ogun State, and the Zuma Rock in Suleja, Niger State. And we also have the Tinapa Resort Centers in Calabar, Cross River State. All these are some examples of tourist centers. Another one again, another important tourist center is Yola Municipality. Yola is the capital of Adamawa State in the northeastern part of Nigeria, of the country. The most striking impression about the town is its undulating topography of hills change, particularly the Three Sisters Hills, which stand side by side, almost having the same height. Because of the presence of these unique features, give Adamawa the beauty, Yola the beauty the state capital has. Then number 9, the Long Juju Shrines of Arochukwu in Anambra State is also another important tourist center. And we also have number 10, Azumini Blue River Rose in Abia State, just almost the same, almost close to Akwa Ibom. So they share almost the same boundary. So all these features gives us some of these tourist centers that attracts a lot of people into the country. Looking at this sketch map of Nigeria, you can see the location of these tourist centers. For example, you can see Yankari Game Reserve. Yankari Game Reserve is located, as I said, is located at the southeastern part of Bauchi State. And you can see the Chad Basin. The Chad Basin is not only accommodating or providing is not only useful to Borno State as a state, but is also sharing boundary with other countries like Niger, Chad, and also Cameroon. Then as you move to, you also see Kainji, and then the Kainji Lake. All these tourist centers are very, very common and very, very unique thereby providing the tourists the interest and the attractions that makes them to move in order to have some time for relaxation, to drive pleasure, and also to be entertained. What then is the justification for the tourism? Tourism has the following three major justifications. One of them is leisure. Leisure is the time when you are not working or studying and can relax and do things you enjoy most. Leisure is one of the most important justifications for tourism. This gives the individual tourists the opportunity to enjoy themselves to the fullest while they visit such resource centers. Number two, recreation. Recreation is the activities that you do for pleasure or amusement. A good example, like watching of television, watching of football, dancing, and so on and so forth. Then number three, education. When a tourist visits any place of interest or even a country, they take their time to educate themselves on the behavior, traditional, and cultural life of the people. It helps them to learn on certain things which they did not know before. Likewise, the inhabitants of the environment will also learn one thing or the other from the tourists that visit such resource centers. Then what then is the importance of tourism? The importance of the tourist industries to the economic development of Nigeria. Number one is foreign exchange earning. These tourists, as they come with hard currency. And these hard currencies, they spend them in the country or in the country here, which helps in boosting the economic of Nigeria. Number two, generation of employment. The tourism industry provides hundreds of Nigerians with employment. From there, they earn their living. Improvement of transport facilities. Whenever we have any tourist centers, definitely there will be need for good roads to link such resource centers. So government also play a very vital role in the construction of roads to these tourist centers. Number four, it increases in commercial activities, that is buying and selling of commodities produced in resource centers. Because as the inhabitants accommodate the visitors come to buy one thing or the other from the local people that are found in such environments. Number five importance is it improves social services, such as provisions of food and drinks, wares, barbing, tailoring, banking, and transportation. Number six, it fosters economic integration. Number seven, development of local craft industries. The existence of tourist centers do help the local communities to showcase their local industries, which can eventually be developed to international standard, which can be used all over the world. Then number eight importance, it provides incomes to the individuals. People that are engaged in tourism activities, they get some incomes from there through which they enhances their standard of living. Then number nine, conservation of wildlife. Tourism play a very vital role in the conservation of wildlife, most especially in areas where the animals are exposed for hunting and so on and so forth. The conservation helps to retain or to sustain some of these animals that are almost at the point of extinction. Then number 10, development of towns. A good number of towns developed as a result of what? the locations of tourist centers, because people within such environments normally move more closer to the tourist centers, where they can have easy access to the tourist environment. Let's look at despite all these advantages, tourism has the following disadvantages. Out of this, we are going to look at 3 major disadvantages of tourism activities. Number 1, overdependence of a country on tourist industry is very risky. When a country depends solely on tourism and there is a problem, definitely people will stop trooping in, and that will either directly or indirectly affect the economics of such a country. Number 2, it can lead to the breakdown of traditional values and way of life of the local people. As a result of what? Constant interaction with these visitors that comes as tourists. Before you know what is happening, it will now start altering the traditional value of the people around such localities. Number 3, it can lead to the spread of diseases such as acquired immune deficiency syndrome AIDS and coronavirus, because you don't know who is coming in. Coming in contact with someone definitely will, before you know what is happening, it will result into the transmission of these deadly diseases to the local people that are found within the resource centers. Now, we've seen the advantages, the importance and the disadvantages of tourism in Nigeria. We want to look at the problems of tourism industry in Nigeria. Tourism has the following major problems. 1, inadequate funding. In Nigeria, the tourism industry is poorly funded. Because it is poorly funded, it has led to poor development of the tourism subsector. Number 2, lack of access of roads. In Nigeria, there is basically inadequate access of roads to most of the resource centers. Many of these roads are in bad shape. As such, do not attract the tourists to such centers. Number 3, poor public publicity. Lack of effective publicity or communication system for publicizing the sceneries, wildlife, and cultural attractions to visitors is a very serious problem in the country. Number 4 problem is inadequate personnel. One of the problems of developing tourism attraction in Nigeria is the inadequacy of competent and trained tourism personnel to manage the tourist centers. Number 5 problem is inadequate infrastructure. Basic infrastructures like electricity, pipe-borne water, etc. are inadequate, and in some areas are lacking completely, and these tend to reduce the development of the tourism industry in Nigeria. Number 6, security problems. Tourism is unable to develop in Nigeria, most especially now as a result of threat of what? Security, such as the occurrence of kidnapping, Boko Haram attacks, and so on and so forth. Number 7 problems of tourism in Nigeria is lack of private investment. In Nigeria, tourism development is left in the hands of the government. Government alone cannot develop the tourism in Nigeria. As a result of that, we need private partners to come in so that this sector can be developed. Number 8, inadequate tourism boards. Tourism boards helps in terms of enhancement in the development of the tourist centers. These tourism boards, if possible, need to be established all over the states and all over the local government areas that we have in the country. This will help to boost the sector. Let's look at possible solutions to the problems of tourism in Nigeria. Increase in budgetary provision. There should be increase and release of budgetary provision by government for tourism development. This will solve the problems of, this will go a long way in terms of developing it. Then launching of Tourism Development Trust Fund. Very, very important and crucial. The government should launch Tourism Development Fund. This fund, when properly utilized, can go a long way to ensure adequate provisions of capital for tourism development in the country. Pursuance of aggressive marketing strategies have to be put in place to promote tourism, assets both locally and internationally. Number 4 solution is provision of enabling environment. The government should provide the enabling environment for tourism to strive. Regulations of laws have to be flexible so as to attract investors into the tourism industries. These are some of the solutions that, when provided, will solve the problem. Now let's look at briefly in our discussions. We're able to look at the meaning of tourism. We're able to look at the factors of tourism, and we're able to look at some major tourism centers and so on and so forth. Before I go, I would like to leave you with this assignment. The assignment is question 1A. On a sketch map of Nigeria, show and name 1. Yankari Game Reserve, Lake Chad. 2. Confluence Resource Center. Question 1B. On one town in each of the areas in 1A above. Question 1C. Briefly describe any 2 factors which have led to the development of tourism centers in Nigeria. Question number 2. Write short note on each of the following. 1. A1. Tourist. 2. Tourist centers. Question B. 2B. Write short note on any 2 justification of tourism in Nigeria. And question C. List any 5 important tourist centers in Nigeria and name the states where they are located. My dear listeners and viewers, before I go, I would like to leave this WhatsApp number in case you have any clarification on any of the issues discussed. The number is 080-33139758. I repeat the number again, 080-33139758. I remain your teacher, Mr. Marcus Adamu. Stay home, stay safe, keep learning. Corona is real. Thank you very much. Till we meet in our next class.